While the British overrun American forces and advance on Washington, just 6 miles away, one woman remains firmly entrenched in the White House, the First Lady, Dolly Madison.
I insist on waiting till the large picture of General Washington is taken, so I have ordered the frame to be broken and the painting taken out. It is done.
The First Lady is among the last to evacuate the city. She finally boards her carriage, searching for her husband. By 8 p.m., British forces, led by Major General Ross, enter Washington.
It was never expected that an army of 4,000 men could march with little or no difficulty, take and have at its mercy the capital of the United States.
In retaliation for burning the Canadian Parliament at York the previous April, British troops prepare to set fire to Washington's government buildings. Redcoats, under the command of Vice Admiral Coburn, break into the Capitol. They stage a mock legislation and vote unanimously to burn the building. One resident watches the fire from her rooftop.
No drawing room was ever as brilliantly lit as the whole city that night. As flames burst through the roof of the Capitol, there was a roll of thunder.
At about 10:30 p.m., the men move on to another key government target, the White House. In the dining room, they find the table set. Coburn orders wine poured, and in a sarcastic toast to the president, drinks to Jemmy's health. Soldiers rampage through the rooms, grabbing souvenirs, including a ceremonial sword and a pair of rhinestone buckles. Even Major General Ross pockets President Madison's love letters to Dolly. Outside the mansion, the Redcoats pitch their torches through the windows, engulfing the White House in flames.
The destruction of Washington's public buildings, these fires, the glow of which was seen 50 miles away, struck at the hearts of many Americans wherever they were.
So one of the first main events of President Madison's terms was the War of 1812, which was between the United States and Britain from 1812 to 1814. And the United States fought mostly near the Canadian border as well as ports of the Atlantic coast. The British supported native tribes against the U.S., and as Americans wanted to expand west of the Appalachian Mountains, British weapons wound up in the hands of natives who resisted American expansion. This led to anger and resentment amongst both the average American and the elite who wanted to profit on those lands. Impressment is when the British ships kidnapped and forced American sailors to work on their ships. The Chesapeake Affair is when the British Navy shot and sank an American ship named the Chesapeake, which killed several Americans. Warhawks like Henry Clay in Congress of the Democratic Republicans wanted war due to impressment and British support of natives out west. Britain used several strategies to stop the U.S. to prosecute the war, such as blocking their trade. They attacked Detroit, but then later the U.S. came back and won. Eventually they burned down D.C., but the U.S. does defend the port of Baltimore and wins or has a stalemate. Big takeaway is that impressment stops. U.S. is very happy about this. Also, there's the American system from Henry Clay, where he reignites the national bank, uses money from tariffs to invest in infrastructure like trains and the Erie Canal.
That's all, folks.